Any questions? I guess you seem like I told you. Okay. It's something that's kind of almost finished, something going at the moment. It's aimed at yourselves, really, I suppose. Basically, at the moment, the first university we did it for was Northumbria University. For things like safety and just obviously when you start in university, you're sort of living away from home the first time, with all these different things that you don't know. They give you this grey book of about so big that's just text, there's not a single image in there, and I don't think a single one's ever been read. I think it's probably been used to make, I don't know, rollies or something with it. So we thought it's quite an important bit of information to actually sell to the students. We thought, well, it's got to be a more interesting way of doing that. And coming off the back of that previous one there, just showed the screenshot for the police, we thought we'd do a similar system based on the student one. So we want to keep it quite visually sort of interesting, sort of quite lots of stuff going on. So we kind of give this idea, this kind of student world, if you like. And then from within here, you can go through various different sections to do with like starting a new student life. So for example, this one's on campus. And across here, you've got this kind of like interactive sort of 3D system that will move around as you come around. And within various parts in here, it will give you information when you click on it. Different information here. So, for example, opportunities like threats and stuff, and you can sort of cycle through these different points. Like one of the model hands. Things like don't advertising your computer and all your gadgets and gizmos, and securing transportation like bikes and stuff, various different pieces of information. It's much more an interesting sort of visual way for people to sort of retain the information as they go through. Even things such as things that you can never ever learn about, like carbon monoxide poisoning, which is invisible and very dangerous. But in this sort of way here, you can go through and see how there's different ways that can actually affect you when you're at home. You probably wouldn't even take into account if you've never lived away from home before, because obviously your folks would take off and do that stuff for you. You can see the section here. To do with trips and drugs and stuff. Drugs are bad, okay. Don't do them. So there's various information there. It's just a very sort of, I'd say quite cutting edge, to be honest, sort of way of different sort of information to people, putting it in sort of context that they understand. Some comedy photos in there as well. Situations. So yeah, that's pretty much sort of what I do. One thing I would say is that when I sort of left my college and university, sort of lessons and courses I got into the actual industry, is the speed at which you have to work at compared to back at university is like crazy different. Like I probably get about half a day to do what you guys do in about 2 weeks. So you really need to sort of up your game in that respect, and really sort of sort of make sure you get up to speed and, you know, towards the end of your sort of courses and stuff, and really sort of work hard at that. Otherwise it can come as quite a big shock. But also things like just getting out there, trying to get work experience at places is very useful. Pretty much every job I've ever had is coming through from people I know. I'm actually getting my foot indoors. The first job I ever had, I didn't even work for any money for about 3 weeks until they actually started paying me, because I did so much. Just like getting your foot in the door and sort of making contacts is very, very, very useful. Also things like, when it comes to employment, things like creative CVs can be quite useful as well. You wouldn't believe the amount of CVs I get on my desk, which is like an A4 sheet of paper. It's not even spelled correctly, and there's just all sorts of god-awful stuff in there that you just go straight in the bin. I'm not interested. If something lands there in front of me that's really, really creative and really different, or it's very, very well presented, I'm much more inclined to have a look at it. And even if I don't need anyone then and there, I will put that on file and keep it for the future. And think, all right, well, we've got a job coming up now that maybe we're a bit unstaffed for that. We'll get someone in for a month. That's an opportunity, or that's actual, you know, it's money for you, it's work for you. So I think about that as well. Things like, especially for sort of online stuff and web-based stuff, if you're going to put examples of work online, make sure it's working. Nothing worse than going, all right, they've sent me a really nice email, there's a link of all that, there's a portfolio website to go look on, you click on it and there's nothing there. because again, it just shows sort of incompetence on your side. So make sure things are working, make sure things, test it on different computers, different browsers, because you're all working on Macs here. I used to work on a Mac, I work on a PC now. What if it doesn't work? What if we don't have the latest Flash player? If it's got Flash on it, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Test things as well, make sure it comes across really well. Any sort of mistakes, and I take things at face value. If you're sort of high educational level, I don't expect things to be to an industry standard, but at the same time, I expect things to to work and things to sort of the best they can within that sort of that arena. And that's pretty much it. I think of some questions, and you don't have to ask me right now in front of everyone. You can come and ask me afterwards if you want to. I hope that was a little bit of help. And yeah, I'm sure I'll be around for a little bit longer.